knows nothing, can understand nothing. Plunge deeper into the darkness, and your heart will grow even stronger.
Good tidings, everybody, and welcome to the Ansem Report podcast. This is episode number 93 of the longest-running Kingdom Hearts podcast on the internet.
And it just keeps getting longer and longer and longer, and the lead is just going farther and farther and farther. There's no way anyone can catch up to us.
Insurmountable at this point. We are just in the lead. Don't stream snipe us, because even if you do, it doesn't matter.
Can't.
We're too far in the lead.
Yeah.
I'm Mike, and with me as always is my brother Jason.
Hello.
And before we get really into it, I just want to say thank you to everybody who stopped by the Ansem Report podcast live.
Oh yeah.
Number 92 last week on twitch.tv/Super SpikeGhetti Bros.
It was a great time.
We had a great time. The VOD is up. The audio version is up last Saturday if you guys didn't see it. So it's there. But it was a great time. Thank you to everybody who was there. Also, congratulations to our newest mods on Twitch.
Yeah.
Wildcat Diana and APK1186.
Shoutouts to them.
Shoutouts to them.
They're the
They
best.
won the mod election that was right after Fair and Square. Jason, we have a review.
What?
We have a review from someone named Zach is Exit.
Ooh, I don't know who that is.
And what's a little weird,
Ooh.
it says great. The title says great podcast, great hosts, and ... I don't know what he said, and it won't let me look. So sorry, Zach, but he gave us 5 stars, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
And here's what the review says. I highly recommend this podcast to anyone who enjoys the Kingdom Hearts series or who likes to take part in smaller communities. I've been listening to this podcast since early 2020. Both hosts, Mike and Jason, are exceptionally great, humorous, and thoughtful hosts, with very engaging segments, including a question of the week, where even you can place your thoughts into a community Discord, or even segments discussing Kingdom Hearts series. Mike and Jason include everyone in the audience by reading all replies. I've never seen a podcast with such a vast number of amazing community members. Everyone is so welcoming and friendly. They never fail to put a smile on my face. If you're not yet watching this podcast, you're missing out. If you're a real menace to society, you'll love episode 69. Mike and Jason get a little hot and heavy, but not hot and heavy enough, in my opinion.
Oh.
But seriously, I can always count on this podcast to brighten my day, and I'm sure it can brighten your day as well. 11 out of 10 would binge again and again. Another reason to look forward to Friday. Exit Purple Heart. Dude,
you.
Zach.
Thank you,
Shout
Zach.
out to our boy Zach.
We love Zach.
What a great guy.
Yes. Very funny.
Twitch.tv/Wrath
creative.
of Rebellion. Go check him out.
Check him out. He's dope.
He's a funny boy. We love him. He's great. So this episode, Jason, we're going to do this episode a little different. If you don't remember, Melody of Memory came out last week
How
Friday.
could I forget?
How could you forget?
Only a memory witch, but I fought her ass off. Nah.
No memory witches here.
Nah.
Nominee, get your big old feet out of here.
Yeah, I could fucking smell them from a mile away.
I can smell them.
I can smell you.
So this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the news tidbits for the week, like we always do. We are going to do the Dark Road Take Me Home segment,
Whew,
where I have
favorite.
2 jewel polls ready to go for you guys.
God.
Thanks to the generous people at
Will
Square
Mike
Enix. I have a
new card.
content creator account now.
I wish.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Use our link and you'll get free jewels to
No.
start.
I don't. We're going to do the question of the week.
Is that a thing at all? Does anyone have that?
I don't think so.
Dude.
You think
There's some people who deserve it.
you
dude.
think Damo would have it if anybody,
Right.
but no.
For fuck's sake.
The man has 2 accounts
Yeah. And have it on stream.
and they're max level. Anyway, we're going to do the Dark Road, then we're going to do the question of the week, and then we're going to take our break, and then when we come back, we are only talking Kingdom Hearts Melody Memory spoilers. Okay?
At the end of the show.
We're at the end of the show. So the break will give you an opportunity to kind of bounce if you're not ready for spoilers, and then come
Yes.
back once you've beaten the game.
We'll say it multiple times when we start.
Yes, we will repeat that. And also, you know, if you're worried about spoilers for that game, the story doesn't really hit till like the end of the game. But we're
you could even listen to a little bit of it if you're worried about spoilers. But if you're really that worried, I probably would pass until you're done.
We're just gonna
and
jump
then come
right
back.
in. So come back once you finished it. Anyway, let's get on with the show. News, Jason. We got some news.
Oh shit!
First
Oh
of
shit!
all,
Oh shit! 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 Oh shit!
Dark Horse, the book/comic company. They also do like strategy guides sometimes, I think. But they are publishing the Kingdom Hearts Ultimania, the story before Kingdom Hearts 3. It's the first ever English translation of a Kingdom Hearts Ultimania in the West. It will release on June 15th, 2021 for $44.99. And if you're...
oh, shit.
If you're... I don't know if it's still this way, but as of right now, as of recording, it's actually on sale on Amazon for like $32 instead of $44, the pre-order.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope they don't run out of freaking copies, dude.
It sounds like they want to know who wants one of these bitches, and they're going to print them. I mean, we're talking 8 months out, this thing comes out.
That's true.
So they got leeway. They got time.
That's true.
Anyway, that's exciting because that, to me, the reason this news story is important is, one, we want people to know when they can get a cool book like this, which I already pre-ordered one personally.
Yeah.
And we might, if you're lucky, be giving away one on episode 100. We'll see. But let me also say, this to me signals that Kingdom Hearts' importance in America has risen in Square Enix's eyes.
Yeah.
They're going, hey, we think this kind of thing will make money now, where before they've never thought that.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome. And I think that's a testament to all the fans around the world really supporting Kingdom Hearts, and especially in America right now, where Kingdom Hearts is hot right now.
It's hot stuff.
It's hot stuff. And
it deserves it.
But yeah.
As the best storytelling, dude.
So this upcoming Ultimania, and I'm reading this from our good friends at KH Insider. This upcoming Ultimania, originally called Kingdom Hearts Series Memorial Ultimania in Japan, released back in 2014 as a recap for fans during the development of Kingdom Hearts 3, featuring a ton of artwork, renders, character bios, world synopsis, and summaries for each game. It's over 250 pages, and it's a good-looking book. I don't know if you can see the cover right now. If you're listening, maybe pull it up, but it's got a gray background or a silver background, and Sora's drawn on there, and he's all like grayscale, except his blue eye. That's on there.
Just kind of like creepy almost.
It's a little creepy, but it's also, I think it's very beautiful.
It's like the Naruto eye, dude. The Sharingan.
See, I don't know nothing about that.
It's a blue Sharingan, dude.
Is that the thing that he wears, the headband he wears?
No, it's the eye. It's the eye thing.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
And you have to like kill your whole family or something to get it. I don't know. Naruto fans are triggered.
Yikes. They are. We are not going to mention the news about The World Ends With You. There, done. Up next, Jason, we have a very interesting interview that's been making the rounds.
Oh, shit.
With Daddy Nomura himself.
Oh, my God.
From Dengeki. And the version I'm reading is translated by KH13's Ryuji.
Okay.
So I'm going to read through it real quick because it's not a long interview, but there's quite a bit in here that's tasty.
Okay.
So here we go. Both the game and the official soundtrack came out within the same time frame. Please tell us what kind of request you made to Indie Zero, known for developing the Theatrhythm series, when developing Melody of Memory. And Daddy Nomura says, their proposal in a few words can be described as Theatrhythm Kingdom Hearts Edition. However, I didn't want to make it a carbon copy of Theatrhythm Final Fantasy and slap Kingdom Hearts moniker on top of it. Interviewer, so you want it to be similar yet completely different to Theatrhythm? Nomura, correct. I asked Indie Zero to combine the action of Kingdom Hearts with the rhythm genre. As you can imagine, it took a lot of trial and error and lots of testing because it is complicated to put those two pieces together nicely. We also wanted to make the game not look too flashy so that people wouldn't feel sick while playing the game.
Yeah.
The interviewer says, I see, there are Keyblade strikes and magic, so you can really feel like you're actually playing KH. Nomura, it makes me glad that you're saying that. After all, that was the main objective of this project. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool behind the scenes. Like we figured it was like, make Theatrhythm.
It just makes so much sense that it's like you have to think about like, they had to get to this point somehow through trial and error.
Right.
But it just makes so much sense to us.
They nailed it.
Yeah, it's so perfect.
Out of the park. They nailed it out of the park. We did share our thoughts last week on Melody Memory, like in a review style, but we just love the gameplay.
Yeah.
It feels so good. It's so sick.
So good.
And we played hours upon hours of it, and we're still not sick of it yet. So the interviewer says, Kairi will play a especially important role as this game's storyteller. Could you elaborate more on that? Nomura. In the game's story, Kairi will recap the entire story of Kingdom Hearts series so far in a way that even newer players can easily digest. However, it is impossible to get them into the most intricate details. So if you're curious about a certain part of the story, I strongly recommend that you play the game and enjoy the story for yourself to the fullest. So even Nomura, gatekeeping new Kingdom Hearts players. You gotta play the whole series. No, he didn't say that. Just kidding.
That's how it's set up in the game, guys. So that's how you're supposed to do it.
Nomura also adds, if you don't use the quick commands menu while playing a Kingdom Hearts game, you suck. Whoa, dude, Nomura, that's not cool,
that's
dude.
Like messed up, dude.
That's kind of messed up.
What if their L1 is broken?
Yeah, what if their L1's broken and they can't finish recom because of it? Or regular chain of memories because of it?
It's just like a glitch.
Yeah, that was you.
That could never happen.
Interviewer, the game contains a total of 140 songs. Were any songs personally suggested by you, Nomura-san? Nomura, none in particular. I guess my initial request was to include as many songs as possible, as I did not want to implement more in a DLC package. Nomura, why?
No.
Why not?
No.
Do it. I dare you.
Don't break my heart.
I dare you, Mr. Daddy Nomura.
No. You're calling him Daddy a lot right now. It's kind of making me a little uncomfortable.
You're going to see why. Next, let's talk about a future outlook for the series. With KH3, a saga, the Seeker of Darkness saga, ended, but there's still a lot of mystery surrounding the characters, correct? Nomura. Of course, I wanted to make some changes to the story, but I also want to make sure that the hints and implications so far can be easily understood and connected to the new story. Interviewer. In Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road, you delve into the past of Xehanort. So does this mean we'll see more of him in a future series? Nomura. To be fair, Dark Road wasn't a project that took future titles into consideration. It was more of a project the Union Cross team was thinking of doing that's been on the back burner for a bit. Xehanort's saga ends with KH3, but you can clearly see in Melody of Memory's story that his influence does shift the atmosphere, even if just a bit. However, I don't think Xehanort will become a main antagonist, main boss in future titles.
Okay.
So there we go with that.
Okay.
Interviewer. One of the main perks of Kingdom Hearts is how it has always set the atmosphere for continuation. Is that something you commonly think of when developing a game? Example, when developing Kingdom Hearts 1, did you anticipate the existence of Sora's nobody, Roxas? Nomura. Whenever I think of a story, I try to make it as extensive as possible. For example, when developing Kingdom Hearts 1, I was thinking of its sequel, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. However, not everything I thought of came to fruition. One such case is Dark Road, where I haven't really thought much about it. That's my favorite quote from this interview, because he basically is just like, yeah, I haven't really think much about Dark Road.
I try not to think about it.
Us too.
Me too,
Us
dude.
too, Nomura. Interviewer. The Kingdom Hearts series started on the PlayStation 2 system. However, there were no new releases to the PS3 or PS Vita. Instead, what happened is the remasters of KH1 and 2, dubbed KH 1.5 and 2.5, were released. Why wasn't there such a jump to the new hardware? Nomura. I had some foggy ideas to release new titles on the PS3 and Vita, especially since the Vita, for a portable console, packed quite the beefy hardware and could stand up to the task. However, those plans never fully materialized, mostly because at the time I was involved in Final Fantasy Versus 13's development. Interviewer. Is the new KH game going to take advantage of the powerful technologies boasted by the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S? Nomura. We can't say we have plans to do so as of now, but if Kingdom Hearts were to come to the new generation of consoles, it would most certainly be a latecomer. Basically, the game isn't likely to come out the first year of the console's release. Well, I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
All right, last part of the interview.
That makes sense.
Last part of the interview. Interviewer. One of the most talked about topics in Kingdom Hearts is its music, particularly the songs composed by Yoko Shimomura. Why did you decide that she would be perfect for the job? Nomura. I got a recommendation from the music department at Square. At the time, I had worked with her on Parasite Eve, a PlayStation 1 game released in 1998 by Squaresoft. It was a unique kind of RPG known as a cinematic RPG. Interviewer. Her songs are both popular in Japan and overseas. Nomura. To be fair, I was pretty surprised. When the overseas fans called her Goddess and how they called me Papa, I was honestly quite surprised such nicknames existed to us. So he is aware of the fact that we call him Papa or Daddy Nomura here in the West. Isn't that ridiculous? And he's like, I was quite surprised.
That's great. I love that.
We love you, Papa Nomura. And that's why I was calling him Daddy so much. I just want him to know that.
See, but Papa Nomura and Daddy Nomura have very different...
No, I think...
No, yes, they do. They have very different...
They do.
Like, oh my God, Daddy Nomura is way different than, oh my God, Papa Nomura.
I think
it's very different.
They do, but I think to him they don't. Is what I'm saying.
Thank God he thinks it's just like Papa.
He thinks, yeah, I don't think...
Thank God.
He doesn't think it's Zaddy.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Some
think it's
people mean
zaddy.
it, okay?
Yeah, I don't mean it that way.
Unless.
Interviewer, what was your first request to Shimomura-san? It was when I wanted to make a battle arrangement for all world songs. As you know, each KH world has a field song and a battle song. I wanted it to feel like you were in a theme park. What do you think of her songs from your point of view? They sound like they carry a lot of emotions. They sound like drama. Translator's note, the tenses in the original Japanese show that he's completely unsure, which I thought that's very weird.
Well, because it's kind of a weird question, too, to be honest. What do you think of her songs from your point of view? Like, in your opinion, what do you think of her songs?
What if he was like, I personally don't like her shit, but people like it.
Yeah.
He seemed unsure. Interviewer.
He's never heard the music.
I always mute Kingdom Hearts when I play it. Aside from Shimomura-san, we have other well-established composers for the KH series, such as Takaharu Ishimoto and Tsuyoshi Sekito. Sekito?
Yeah, you kind of griefed that. If you would have just gone with it and been like confident, it would have been good.
Yeah.
But like 3 times, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. I don't speak Japanese. Amira, I believe it was during Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep's development process that we asked them to compose. Ishimoto is involved with the Cydia series as well as The World Ends With You. He's great in creating cool-looking songs. As for Sekito, his forte is creating bright and cheerful songs. He also has a close relation to the development team in Osaka, so it's very easy to request bright and cheery songs for things such as the UI, example, world map, or minigames. Interviewer, finally, please give a comment to everyone to wrap up the interview. And here, this is the one everybody's talking about. This is what everybody's talking about. We are proud that we managed to release Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory and the Kingdom Hearts 3 soundtrack. Both me and the team hope that all players enjoy it fully. After the release of MOM, the series will probably take a little break. No announcements and or new things until 2022. 2022 marks the 20th anniversary of KH, so I plan to share some great news by then.
Oh my god.
So it is now.
Tell me we have to go.
It is now with great regret that we are announcing the end of the answer. No, I'm just kidding.
We have to go a whole year without new info.
At least a year.
Oh my fucking god,
yeah, dude, it's pretty.
The longest running podcast is doomed.
Yeah, we're a little doomed. Maybe we'll start being a Final Fantasy X podcast.
Yeah.
A Final Fantasy X podcast. Oh. Anyway, yeah, who knows, man? That's an interesting interview, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason's like feels doomed right now, I think.
My fucking
Dude.
I just watched my own podcast die, but then I said, "No!
Dude, we're not dying, dude.
You can't take this from me, and neither can Beans."
Dude, don't even. Beans is not allowed on the podcast.
That's all I got to say.
Speaking of things that shouldn't be allowed on the podcast, it's Dark Road time.
Oh, no.
Brand new phone game, Mr. Nomura. Download BlueStacks and grind on your computer. Make some new friends. They all have big keys. They'll all be dead by the time we reach chapter 3. Dark Road, take me home to the place where I belong. Scarlet Coyote, Xehanort Mama, take me home. Dark Road.
Is this allowed?
It's not allowed.
Is this allowed?
So, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, this card seems kind of juiced.
There is a Mickey B card, and the B meaning like it's not A, it's B. But I always read it as Mickey B, and I was like, wait, what's Mickey Mouse? What's Mickey Mouse's last name?
Mickey B.
What's Mickey Mouse's last name?
Mickey B on that beat.
So the card has an main ability called Impulse Flame, base power 40, plus 10 power 80, and it's a water powerful magic attack.
Okay.
But also
called Impulse Flame. It's a water attack.
Yeah, I don't really understand.
Okay.
That's what it says on KH Insider, but they might be cucking me, honestly. Also, sub-ability Cure restores HP. The amount recovered varies depending on the player's magic power. So he cures and attacks, which is kind of juiced, actually.
Yeah, that sounds kind of.
So that being
just have,
said,
like, all that card over and over.
Right. That being said, it's time for me to pull for it. Hopefully.
Oh fuck.
Ooh, I didn't do my free pulls for. They're doing because the free pull wasn't around. They're letting you do 2 a day. So I just basically get 8 free rainbow points. Which means I might have enough for a Mickey card if I don't get them. But let's see what happens here. How did I get 2 red aboos, dude?
That's kind of cursed.
Is that serious?
We're not getting Mickey B. If there were 2 blue aboos, we'd probably get it.
Mickey B. Mickey B. Mickey B. All right.
Here we go.
Draw number 1, ladies and gentlemen.
Mickey B. Mickey B. 2 Mickey B's. Literally 2 Mickey B's.
I got Minnie, and that's the only new card I got. So that's some all shot points, please.
9 rainbow points, please.
36 rainbow points, thank you. All right, let's try this again. Come on, Mickey B.
That's just scrumptious.
Oh my God.
He didn't get it. You got 10 rainbow points.
I got 40 rainbow points. Literally no new card there. That's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. All right, let's go see if I can buy my way into a Mickey B card, dude. Oh, I can.
Okay.
I have 376 rainbow points. I can buy 1 Mickey B. I'm doing it.
How much is it?
300.
They're fucking rinsing your ass, dude.
Dude, they are, but
they're fucking rinsing
at least I got the Mickey B, dude. Let's go see what my deck looks like.
That's freaking 8 pulls, dude. Dear God.
All right, Mickey B jumps to the top of my blue pile, dude.
Oh my gosh, your blue cards suck.
No, Minnie was the top of mine. I got Mickey, Minnie, Ariel, Aqua, and Blue Aboo.
Hell yeah, Blue Aboo.
10 out of 10. Still standing
making
strong,
the
dude.
cut.
Holy shit, Blue Aboo. You love to see it, dude. Who did we kick then? It must have been like Selfie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably
Stab.
Selfie.
Yeah, get that stab card out of here, dude.
Okay. Well, that was officially scuffed, ladies and gentlemen.
We got Mickey B, but at what cost?
Had
8 weeks
300
of
rainbow
just getting
points.
all points.
That's the cost. All right. Now let's move on to something more fun, Jason. It's the time for the question of the week.
Okay.
Question of the week. Out of order this week because, we're doing spoilers at the end of this shit.
Yeah, true.
All right, so this week's question of the week is a little bit weird because it comes from 2 sources, Nimsy and Alks. Both asked a similar question. If Sora and company had their own YouTube/Twitch channels, what kind of content would they make and why?
Okay.
Starting out first is our friend Sean's. And he says, Sora, he doesn't have a computer, so he would show up in all his friends' videos as a guest. Riku, Twitch streamer. He does all the hard parts for Sora, level 1 crit, data fights, and such. Dark Souls Let's Plays. I like it.
Dark Souls.
Demon
Souls, even.
Bloodborne, maybe.
Yeah.
Neo, 1 and 2.
That's his current sub goal right now.
Yeah. Kyrie.
Go sub.
Sings original songs. Has fans all over the world. Most known for her song, Dirty and Complicated. Many fans suspect the song is about Sora.
Yeah. I could see that.
Dirty
and complicated.
Okay, Sean's. Nominate. Art videos. Oh, of course.
Yeah. I like that.
Shion. Social Issues. Roxas. Okay. Podcast with Lee/Axel. They also show up in Shion's vids from time to time.
Okay.
Ventus. Shows up on Roxas' podcast and Shion's vids to confuse people. Aqua.
Okay. Yeah.
ASMR as Dark Aqua.
Sign me up. Where is her cameo?
Where can I tier 3 sub?
Where is her cameo?
Tara. Self-help vids. Inner peace and wellness. Larkseen. Twitch girl. The bathwater / it's only $5 kind.
Yeah. 100%. Nothing truer has ever been said on this podcast.
That's pretty good. Luxord. Poker / gambling streams. Demix. Cover songs on his sitar. Scold. Pop Goes Punk with Shion, Demix, and Hainer.
Okay, yeah.
Master of Masters, conspiracy vids of conspiracies he made up at the top of his head. Everyone believes anything he says, regardless of evidence.
Yeah, I think inside of his hat, there's tinfoil on the inside.
Yes, definitely. It's a tinfoil hood. Young Xehanort, world-traveling vlogs with Luju, who carries around a giant box literally everywhere they go. On the bus, on the subway, on planes, and while walking, the box has no wheels.
Just fucking scraping it on the ground.
Master Xehanort reads audiobooks. Zemnis only does outros for YouTuber HMK. Damn it, Sean. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, does intros for the Ansem Report podcast, the longest running cage podcast ever.
In any world line.
In any world line. He forgot that part. Evan does vids in the style of Chubby Emu, but creepier and just stares at the camera.
Dear God.
Dylan, poetry vids, stares directly at the audience and he never forgets a line, has a sensual stare, talks very suave. Yenzo, science vids, tries to be funny, but is kind of a dork, which is why his audience finds him endearing. And then finally, Sterletzia and Lorium, fashion vids.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that too. Pokemon Trainer Jay says, Sora would try to stream speedruns, but fail every time and mess it up a lot. He claims to have seen Riku do all of them off screen. Aqua capitalizes on the weirdos and makes odd, sensual/sexual eating videos.
Okay, mukbang.
Is that going to be everybody's answer? Is Aqua does some deplorable shit?
Yeah.
Riku streams his speedruns under a different alias and doesn't tell Sora about it. Roxas and Shion run a Twilight Town Times podcast about the weird ongoings there.
Oh, shit.
Namine does drawing tutorials and won't shut up about Skillshare.
Jesus.
Namine definitely does Skillshare. Luju does a history lesson podcast where he's just in that time.
Oh, my God.
Like,
it's like he's like an old man telling stories, dude.
Right. He like invites like historians on.
Yeah.
And they're like, we believe this happened. Well, actually, it happened like this. Trust me, I was there. He just invites people on his podcast to like explain how things happen to them.
Well, and sometimes he's like kind of senile about it.
Right. Right. No one believes him, but he actually does know the truth.
Yeah.
Phil Games, shout out to Phil Games. He's a new member of the Discord. Says, all credit for these goes to my sister because I'm not that creative. Sora does exclusively reactions to cat videos. Roxas, Axel, and Shion do gaming live streams together. Kyrie and Aqua have a cooking channel together. And Hainer and Pence make YouTube poops. I could see it.
Okay, nice.
And like Omelet always comes in. He's like, are you guys making those dumb videos again? And they're like giggling.
Yeah, and they put her in them.
Right. Get Roxels. Shout out to Get Roxel. Says, KH influencers. Sora, casual Twitch streamer who can get by with just doing meme reactions, but gets early access to every game that comes out. A little bit of commentary on Sora there.
I kind of wish that was me, though.
Very honestly, I wish I was Sora. Riku is like the third most followed person on Instagram, but he just posts pictures of his cars with no captions.
Nice.
Kyrie makes dance videos on TikTok that you'd let kids watch. Namine makes a daily vlog for YouTube with a very small following, but is always appreciated. Roxas runs a dank meme page on pretty much every platform you can imagine.
Okay.
Pete makes prank videos. Yeah, you were worried. You were worried.
I was really worried.
It was gonna be some
really worried.
Deplorable shit. Luxord makes magician videos, not tutorials. He never explains his trick. Hell yeah, Luxord. Larkseen creates dance videos on TikTok that you definitely would not let kids watch. I knew that joke was coming.
Crustine.
That was well done, Get Roxel. I like it. Okay, this next one is from our good friend who we haven't heard from in a while, The Box.
What up, Box?
Hi, Box. Hope you're doing well. Sora, Disney Parks blogger. He has all the best pictures with the characters, including the rare ones that only show up for exclusive pass holder events, and he gets to ride all the rides in advance because he's literally friends with every single cast member of the park, and Disney totally gives him backstage access. Kyrie.
He deserves it.
He does. Kyrie plays Soulsborne games with a dance pad and is pretty good, actually pretty good at it. But she has been shadow banned 10 years ago by a YouTube employee, and her talent has remained unnoticed and unappreciated for years.
Damn.
The employee's name may or may not have been Tetsuya Nomura. Huge if true.
May or may not.
Riku is a pet YouTuber and teaches kids to take care of their Dream Eaters and how to persuade their parents to let them keep a huge bear-looking monster, dragon, or elephant in the house because it keeps the nightmares away, Mom, while also posting selfies while traveling with his pets on Instagram.
Okay. I like that.
Roxas sings emo Disney song covers, has tons of fangirls, and is very successful, but apparently there's someone else on YouTube that looks just like him, and people constantly stop him on the street for a photo or autograph, and it's definitely not him. This is a severe problem for Roxas's branding.
Yeah, who knows what this other guy could do? He
I
could,
don't even
kill
know.
somebody, maybe.
Right. He might be a secret killer. Marluxia, of course, has gardening tips channel and a super aesthetically pleasing and relaxing Instagram page that clashes with the tone of the podcast him and his co-host Lark Scene held every Friday, pointing and laughing at all the YouTubers on this list when they mess up. Legend says they once bullied Xion into making an apology video for something she didn't even do.
I can see that.
The Vox adds, I don't care what the BBS people do. I asked YouTube not to recommend me their channels ever again. Namine does speed paint videos and is very active when it comes to fandom wars and ship wars. She documents the cringy history of Tumblr in very long and detailed essays that are all about how, as fans, we engage with fiction. Easily the one that puts the most efforts into her videos than anyone else on this list. Old Master Xehanort has a channel focused on vintage Star Trek and science fiction in general, and it's actually pretty dope and interesting. Motivates the youth today to look past special effects and explosions and give a chance to classic movies and novels. The Foretellers are the most dedicated Among Us streamers ever. The imposter is always the master of masters, but for some reason they never figure it out, and that's where the appeal of their video stems from.
Christ.
Every once in a while, Ragu's like, I don't know, guys. Master of Masters is acting pretty sus. And they're like, oh, Ragu, shut it. You don't know what you're talking about. And the Master of Masters is like, whoa, man, that's pretty sus of you to accuse me. I was imposter last time.
Right, like there's no way it's me again.
And then when they're done playing, like, oh man, the Master of Masters got the imposter glitch. He's always the imposter. Thank you, Box. Great answers. Kyrie's smoking hot grandma says, Master Xehanort,
hello.
He would have 100%.
Hello.
He would 100% have an Alex Jones type podcast where he yells about how corrupt he thinks the world is and delves into conspiracies.
Yeah, he does. I've listened to it.
That needs to be a thing. You think we could pay Christopher Lloyd to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
As Xehanort? He does things, right?
He has a cameo, right?
Right. We just keep paying his cameo. Okay, say this paragraph.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know what those are for, but I'm doing them.
Cha-ching.
Sora would have a vlog channel where he travels places and has people tell them about their city. He probably acts way too interested in whatever they're saying. Like he'd go to England and be like, you call French fries chips? Whoa, that's amazing. My friends would love it here. Kyrie, she would have a really lackluster craft channel where she like empties out a wine bottle and uses it to store water and pretends that's impressive.
Okay, yeah. She drinks the entire thing,
And she's like,
which is actually the impressive part.
Nah, I could put water in here. I could put juice in here. I could put more wine in. I could put whatever I want in here.
I can put like my finger in there, but
it's
not
stuck.
more than a couple.
It's stuck.
Because otherwise it gets stuck like this.
Sora, my finger got stuck in the wine bottle again. It's like the 5th video that's like that.
Yeah.
Xion. She would probably be one of those content creators who streams from their bedroom and it's just filled with LED lights. Ooh, I feel personally attacked.
Yeah,
She'd
me
probably play really shitty indie games or review low-budget B movies and maybe read poorly written fan fictions. Oh no, I really feel attacked. Am I Xion? Axel.
I wish I was Xion.
Me too. Axel, he would have a prank channel that goes way too far, like making fun of people's shoes in sketchy areas or breaking people's phones and giving them a new phone. He would probably get arrested.
Yikes. Imagine Axel doing that. Axel.
It's just a prank, bro. Got it memorized?
Imagine
It's a social experiment.
Yikes.
Master of Masters. His show would be identical to the Eric Andre show, terrorizing guests, destroying his set all the time.
And kissing people in public to make them feel very uncomfortable.
His comedy is too dark for almost everyone, and he'd likely get arrested. And then Boondocks posted a gift that I think he made himself of the nightmare, and it's fucking Ira on the couch. Holy shit. This is funny shit, guys. You guys are doing great.
Nightmare.
Alex, brain dead as fuck, help, says Sora does a Let's Play channel and gets some of his friends to join him on each playthrough.
Okay.
Riku totally does speedruns on Twitch, and I think a lot of people here can agree he'll hold the world record for KH3. He doesn't like the Kupo coin.
No, he does. Shut the fuck up.
Kyrie does really cool cosplay tutorials and showcases, but overprices her products. Roxas and Ventus do pranks, you know, the gone sexual, gone wrong, not clickbait ones.
Oh my god.
Axel reviews games like the Angry Video Game Nerd. Cyax reviews movies like the Nostalgia Critic. Uh-oh. I said uh-oh, but it was definitely an uh-oh. I read it wrong. Shion reads scary stories and has way too much voice effect. Aqua would do reactions to unfunny TikToks, stupid memes, and question the weird comments she gets. You know, Aqua stuff. Why are your hands so big? Tara does those fucking workout videos and makes everything seem extremely easy, then does like a 40-minute ad for a sponsor that doesn't even sponsor him sometimes.
Damn.
Vanitas would troll people on Discord or Reddit, but delete any parts of the footage where he gets roasted.
Damn.
Hainer Pensanolette would be all those sick, underrated YouTube musicians and make absolute bangers that sometimes star Roxas.
Ooh.
Master of Masters and Loser / Zigbar would do a channel called The Hood Theorist. Take a guess what this is going off of.
I have no idea.
Is it like The Game Theorist?
I have no idea.
But that's just a theory, a hood theory. I don't know if that works. If that's what he meant. Demix is a top-tier YouTube musician that cancels the Twilight Town Gang, but then gets canceled back because one of his songs said hell. Classic YouTube.
Damn.
Now with Ansem and Zen, I have this extremely cool idea. They could do a podcast, right? And they could have these really cool segments where they try to answer extremely ridiculous and dumb questions for their fans.
Yeah.
Cover the latest KH news and answer questions from fans.
Oh my god.
Their theme song to be the Hollow Bastion, and the name of the podcast to be the Ansem Report Podcast. Oh fuck. It's a great idea, Elks.
Shit.
Someone should do that.
I think it would be like the longest running if they did that.
Yeah, if they did that, they'd probably do it for a very long time.
They'd have like the biggest following and also the biggest dicks.
Biggest following?
Yeah, and the biggest dicks, dude. It's insane.
Yeah, insane how huge their cocks would be. Unhinged Exit says, I feel like Taro would be so dumb he'd make the 2018 era of Logan Paul videos.
Oh god, yeah, he would.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the question of the week. Jason, do you have an answer to this one?
I can't ever remember what his name is. If it's David or Daniel. But I remember his last name is Dobrik. I feel like that's Sora. He just goes around and like is like laughing and making friends with tons of people and then like changes their life in a good way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I
nice.
feel like that's Sora. That's my only answer though.
I think Scrooge McDuck and Huey, Dewey, and Louie would basically have Mr. Beast's channel.
Okay.
But like Scrooge McDuck just kind of bankrolls it.
Ooh.
Like he doesn't really do a lot. He just gives them the money, and then they just go like donate money to people, or they like, let's see if how many fans it takes to push my car down the road, and they buy a shit ton of box fans, stuff like that. And you're like annoyed by them.
Yeah.
But they're also like good people that are doing good things some of the time, so you like feel bad being annoyed by them.
Definitely. Also, I feel like Lexius, he makes those videos where like he just fucking builds houses with like a fucking at nothing but like an axe and
No,
like
just his fucking tool.
yeah, his tool. That's it. And some nails.
See this son of a bitch right here? It can do anything, and he's just fucking building a house.
Just builds a house with his bare hands and his tool. I feel like Zalden, he shoots guns. He shoots a lot of guns.
What?
Yeah, dude. Just imagine him mixed with like a lumberjack.
Yeah.
And he shoots guns.
Okay. I was saying he would
or like Gaston, right?
Right.
And he just shoots guns. And
I mean, I think he
says K-Kona a lot.
He
K-Kona.
does. I think he looks like Gaston.
He kind of does.
And I think that's on purpose because they didn't use Gaston.
Yeah.
You know? Until Union Cross, at least.
Right.
I think Luxord opens like card packs to try and get like Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering cards and shit.
He doesn't teach you how to count cards?
He might do that too. No, because he doesn't believe in cheating though. He's a fair game kind of gambler.
Does.
Demix probably teaches you how to count cards in the casino, and Luxord's always trying to get his YouTube channel shut down.
I feel like Demix would make like some like cover videos.
He might. Oh no, Demix is the fucking on the front page of Twitch, dude. DJing and blowing fat clouds out of his vape, dude. That's Demix. He's just like
Him and like Pence. You're telling me you can't see Pence with like the headphone like one ear? He's like holding on to the one side that's on. He's like, okay.
And then he just grabs his vape and
then
blows a fat fucking
You can't
cloud,
even
dude.
see him anymore.
Yeah, it covers the camera. And then it finally dissipates, and maybe he's got some lasers that go through the vape, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, you love to see it.
And Demix does some like water magic and shit with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like he does like, you know, like people do like the smoke rings or whatever.
Yeah.
But he does some like crazy shit with it. Like fucking like Gandalf.
And his alert when he gets a sub is vape, water, vape, and then he hits a fat cloud again. Or no, vape, not vape, water, vape, Demix, vape.
Yeah, and then he's like, thanks for the follow, dude.
Thanks for the follow. Blows that cloud, dude. Hell yeah, you love to see it.
Oh my God.
I hate that that's at the front page of Twitch, dude.
Always.
I like every time I go on there, it's literally just some dude or girl, and they're just like standing in front of their DJ kit, which is fine. Like DJ, like I'm not that person that's like DJs just press buttons. It does take some musical talent to be a DJ,
right?
But why is that the front page of Twitch always? Always, unless they have some kind of event like GlitchCon or whatever. Like,
yeah. It's mad annoying, dude.
Otherwise, it's just fucking DJs, and they always are vaping, dude.
Yeah.
They're always just taking fat rips.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I just sit there and watch. I go, how long is it gonna be till he takes another rip? Dude? 30 seconds.
You time him? You have a fucking stopwatch?
This guy fucking vapes more than he DJs, honestly.
My God, he's down to 20 seconds.
I'm gonna start playing Fuser on the front page of Twitch, and I'm just gonna vape my mind away. Next week's question of the week. I'm not going to pick from the pool of question of the week questions because I actually have a good question for you guys that I'm going to throw out there.
An original idea.
I want you guys to give me a mini review of Melody of Memory. What did you think of Melody of Memory? Now that everybody's kind of had a chance to play it, it's by next week it will have been 2 weeks.
Okay, let me say it again. Mini review, like, you know, like you're playing BBS, right? And you cast the spell mini. That's where yeah, you already know who you are. Okay,
you guys can make it as long as you want. I don't care.
You already know who you are. I'm about to cast mini and stomp all over your fucking review. Okay, dude. Don't make it too fucking long.
No, dude, because then people don't answer.
I got stuff to do, dude.
When you give them ultimatums like that, they feel nervous to answer. Make it as long as you want. Make it as short as you want. Just give me a clear, concise thought on what you think of Melody of Memory. Even if you just put "Yo, what's good."
Spoilers allowed.
Yeah, you can put spoilers, but if you put spoilers in the question of the week tab, please spoiler
tag. If you're not sure how,
ask someone in the Discord. They'll tell you.
We'll show you. It's really easy.
All right, Jason, we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about the story and spoilers from Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory.
Oh my God.
So if you're signing off with us now, thank you for listening this week. Come back once you beat Melody of Memory and want to hear about spoilers. Otherwise, everybody else,
love you. Fuck off.
We'll be right
fuck
back.
Off. If you don't want stories, fuck off. If you don't want spoilers, fuck off. It's a mini review.
Welcome back to the Ansem Report podcast. Jason, it's time.
Holy shit.
To discuss Melody of Memory. Spoiler alert.
If you do not want to get spoiled, leave
now or forever hold your peace.
Leave now.
I give you 10 seconds.
All right, that's enough, dude.
That's enough.
That's like enough. 5 seconds, but I don't even care, dude.
I mean, I'm going to edit it to be 10, but that's fine.
It was like 5 seconds in my timeline.
Anyway, let's start with like a recap of what happens. Basically, there's no story until the final level of the game.
Yeah.
Where you, as Kairi, go to the final world.
Well, it's her memory of the final world.
It's in her heart, her memories of the final world.
Yes.
So you go to the final world, there's like a little fun, like play the the final world theme.
Yeah. And then also,
but not playable in the game.
Kairi music box.
But that's after, because first what happens is you play the final world theme, and then she discovers, she looks down at herself and she has a memory of Terra Xehanort, back when he was severely uncorked, but couldn't remember he was Xehanort. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He knew his name was Xehanort, but that's all he knew. And he has her inside the Ark, and he's sending her to find a Keyblade wielder. He says a Keyblade wielder.
If you truly are a princess of heart.
And the attempt is to save Radiant Garden. And I have problems with that, but we'll get back to that. We're just going through things right now.
Yeah.
So the sender out, but then he says something, if you should find yourself in a world that's neither light nor darkness, then
your mission will be very hard.
Your mission will become difficult to achieve, or some sort of
abort mission.
Some sort of semblance of that. Then she comes back from her memory, and the pink crystal flower that we saw in Remind shows up again, and she has to collect the pieces.
Yeah.
So then you play the Kyrie music box theme.
Yeah.
Collecting those pieces, but you're missing one, and that piece turns out to be in a hooded figure who reveals his hood to be Master Xehanort, Old Man Xehanort. You baited. You thought it was the Master of Masters.
Or anybody else other than him.
But it's Master Xehanort. And she remarks that she's upset because he has caused her so much pain.
Yeah.
And now Sora's gone because of him. And he says, yeah, you're right. I changed your destiny as a small child, and now I destroyed you, and then Sora had to find you, and now he's gone because of it. So she gets mad, and they start fighting, and they kind of have a cool anime fight sequence.
Yeah.
Kyrie shows off some sick moves. Yeah. She does a couple of the he's holding my Keyblade, and then she transforms it to the other hand to swing kind of shit.
And he just still catches it again.
Yeah, because he's stronger than her.
Yeah, he's final boss, dude.
He remarks that Yen had taught her well, prepared her well, as even though he's a retired Keyblade master.
Yeah.
And then she does end up getting smacked away by him, drops her Keyblades, laying on the ground. And as he goes to finish her off, the Kingdom Key blocks it, and inside her is Sora.
Like a projection of Sora goes around.
Projection of Sora.
And then you do the final boss.
Well, he remarks a comment, as I thought your voice can't reach us here, now I know precisely where your heart is.
Yeah.
Is what Xehanort says. Then you do the final boss fight with Dark Domination, which is a dope fucking song. It's fun.
Yeah.
Then after you win, the pink piece comes out of Xehanort. She grabs it and she goes, "Thank you, Sora." And then he's back again in his robe again. He changed into his regular clothes, by the way, for some reason for the fight. And then he goes back into his robe, and he says,
and he's kind of glitching out.
He's glitching out, and he says, "Let me give you the answer you're looking for." And
he said because he's a part of your heart.
Right. So basically, this is still all happening in her heart. This is all her memory. She's not even fighting the real Xehanort. It's a memory of Xehanort she's fighting. So he glitches into Xemnas, then Ansem Secret Darkness, then Sack Xehanort.
Yeah.
And then to Terranort. Oddly enough, not young Xehanort in there at all.
No. Because you never seen him as
she doesn't have memories of young Xehanort, but still, you'd think, So he says, the words I told you on that day I sent you away are key. If you should find yourself in a world of neither light nor darkness, it will make your mission difficult or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the key. That's the clue that he's giving her. So she goes, "What does that mean?" And we're all like, "Right?"
Yeah. And then she talks about it with Yenzo, Evan, and
Ansem the Wise.
The
wiggity wise. And they surmise that
it's not in our world.
Yes. It's basically, they come up with the idea that it's not darkness, nothing, or light, and it's not data, dream, or memories. So it must be beyond that, meaning a unreality or a fictional world, is the way Ansem puts it.
Yeah.
Riku shows up, and he says this after Riku shows up, so we're kind of out of order, but Riku shows up and talks about his dreams, and the fairy godmother shows up, and she's horrifying. And she talks about how there's 3 keys to figuring this out, and they got to go meet the other key. Now that they've combined their knowledge that they have.
Yes.
So they go to the final world with the fairy godmother, and she goes, "Check out all these stars." So they go around and talk to the stars. It doesn't show this, but it's implied.
Yeah.
They talk to the right star, and it's the nameless star that Sora talks to in Kingdom Hearts 3. And they talk about how they're looking for a city with lots of tall buildings, and she says, "Oh, like Quadratum?" They're not sure that's where Sora is, but it's the only thing they have to go on. So
and Fairy Godmother says so.
Yeah, and Fairy Godmother says so. So Riku opens a portal using the power of waking into the nameless star because she agrees to help, and he goes up into the sky. Also, Kairi can't go because she's not strong enough.
She's not a master.
By her own admission, after Riku says, Kairi, you can't come with. She's
Yeah.
like, you're right. I need to go train more. So Riku's off. Kairi goes back to Yen, Sid, and Mickey, and Donald, and Goofy. Mickey wants to, for some reason, go save Riku, even though he didn't show this kind of...
He's learning, dude.
When Aqua was lost, he didn't give a shit. So Yen Sid just goes, you know what? The ancient Keyblade wielders...
He's been to therapy.
The ancient Keyblade wielders could go to different worlds. Maybe we should start looking for them. Donald and Goofy, you're going to go talk to all the people that are looking for Sora and tell them to chill, that we figured out maybe where he is, which I don't get why they're telling them to chill, but they should still keep looking. But anyway, he tells Kairi, hey, you're going to continue training, and she says, I'm going to continue training under Master Aqua, and he goes, I approve. And then he tells Mickey, you're going to start searching for this world, and Mickey goes, how do I do that? And he goes...
Because he thinks that he says that the ancient Keyblade Masters went to another world.
Yes. And Xehanort knew this. So he goes... It zooms in all dramatic on Yen Sid, and he goes, by going to Scala ad Kaim. And that's it. That's the story.
Yeah.
So that was the recap of it. Let's talk about it a minute here. First of all, I get that we're like in retcon zone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't understand Terra Xehanort or Terranort's reasoning for doing this with Kairi.
I think the idea is that, like, so in Dark Road, they're showing that, like, yeah, he was a good guy to start. And, like, that's stuff we already knew.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that, like, oh, Xehanort isn't this terrible guy. Like, he has good intentions. It just along the way, he had to do what he had to do or something, right?
So, no, I don't know that that's it. Because if you think about his timeline, there's Dark Road. We don't know what happens between Dark Road and BBS.
Right.
BBS, he's pretty evil.
Yeah.
And doesn't even mention that he's trying to like bring light to the world. He wants to do a Keyblade War.
Well, he doesn't say that he doesn't. He said the world's going to get covered in darkness.
Right.
Like everyone that you know and love will be gone.
And he plots to steal Terra's body the whole time. He does steal Terra's body.
Yeah.
And then he loses his memories. And he knows his name is Xehanort, but he doesn't remember shit else when they find him after...
Well, because Aqua beats his fucking ass.
Right, because Aqua beats his ass.
Yeah.
And then instead of letting him fall into the Dark Realm, she pushes him out and falls in the Dark Realm herself. Huge mistake, Aqua. Anyway...
She did her best, dude.
I'm assuming this Xehanort, from my understanding, he never really realizes who he is.
Right.
Like, he just does this stuff because he's compelled to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, this reasoning is that he's saving Hollow Bastion or Radiant Garden. But didn't Mickey visit Radiant Garden, a Keyblade wielder, Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just have Mickey fucking save the Radiant Garden and lock up the keyhole? You know what I mean?
Well, I think the idea is that he's doing all these secret experiments or whatever. Right?
Right.
And Ansem knows that he's doing them and tells him to stop.
Right.
And there's like that secret report where it's like, yeah, a Keyblade wielder came in today. And like, is that... Because some of the Ansem report, it's what? Only the first Ansem report was actually written by Ansem the Wise?
I don't know.
And then after that, it's
I've been
Terranort.
told so many different things with that.
But like on one of them, it's like, yeah, a king from a different world came or whatever, right?
Right.
And he had a Keyblade. I think that like that was probably Ansem the Wise meeting Mickey, not the apprentice. But in Cage 2, there's the flashback scene where he's like, yeah, I met him.
Right.
But is Mickey walking around with a Keyblade out? I don't think so.
I just think it's all because of the retconning of there's only one Keyblade wielder, right?
Yeah.
But it's like they could have came up, I think, with a better reasoning for him doing this other than we need to find a Keyblade wielder. Because presumably there were Keyblade wielders around. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you had Aqua, you had Terra, you had Ventus, you had Mickey.
Well, they all have reasons to not be there. Well, I mean, it's not like he can just like call up Mickey and be like, "Yo."
I guess they didn't have gummy phones back then.
Yeah,
but yeah, you get what I mean, though.
Well,
right?
and
it just
doesn't
seems
really
very convenient.
And it kind of seemed like it was like Mickey had a. Well, yeah, like that's just how the fucking story is. But like, I still think that there's room for it to be believable.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's unbelievable. I just wish they would have came up with a better reason because I just feel like that's kind of like a.
I don't think it's a bad reason. I think it's good enough, and like it kind of has that vibe in Cage 2 where like it seems like Mickey's kind of leaving the meeting, but like Terranort comes in and is like, "Oh, like Master, like And then Ansem Wise is like, bro, like we talked about this. You're not doing any more experiments or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I think that if he knew that Mickey was like a Keyblade wielder, maybe then it's at that point where he doesn't know yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he
sure.
doesn't know that he needs a Keyblade wielder.
I'm not saying it's unbelievable or that I just personally thought there would be more to why what was done to Kyrie was done to Kyrie.
Yeah.
I mean, personally thought there's
still more to reveal maybe, but who knows?
I don't know. I don't think they're going to touch that ever again. I think that was like his way of wrapping that up and it's done. That's what I think. I could be wrong. So there's been a lot of people talking about Kyrie and how they feel like she got shafted a little bit. And I do want to say, I did warn people that were like, it's Kyrie's game. It's Kyrie's game. Like that.
She's going to pop off.
She's going to pop off. I was like, guys, don't get too excited. But
yeah,
she does. I mean, she shows some cool moves off against Xehanort.
Yeah. She shows that she's more than just like her little strike she does in KH2 or whatever on a shadow.
Right. I think she pops off a little bit. Ultimately, she loses to Xehanort because it's Xehanort. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, it's in her own heart, so she should be able to do it. But it's like, I don't know why. So, Sora relies on his friends all the time to do things. Yeah. Why is it a problem when Kyrie relies on Sora? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I guess.
Well, and if it's not like it's. I highly doubt that it's like literally Sora too. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so like if you think about it,
her strength comes from him.
Yeah.
Just like his strength comes from her and vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And in a world that's made of her memories in her sleep, like, I don't think that that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like when you're a kid and you have a nightmare and like something's trying to get you or whatever, you're like in the nightmare, you're going to go to somebody that you trust, right? You're going to be like mom, dad, or somebody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where like her safe person or whatever is going to be Sora. So to me, that makes sense. Like in her memories, like in her heart, somebody who is still actually part of her heart as well, right? Like somebody who's like very much like harmed her and caused her a lot of pain, but is still like, it's still her, right? So in Xehanort finding out, like the Kyrie version of Xehanort finding out, hey, your voice can't reach us. I know where your heart is. It's her like it's her subconsciously remembering, like, hey, like, no wonder we can't find him and all this stuff. Like, it's got to be on the other side, which is what Terranort talked about when I was a kid.
Right.
So,
which that's at least how I see it. Nomura could come out and say, no, that's actually the real Xehanort for some reason. You know what I mean? Like that could change,
and that's the real Sora or whatever.
Right. Yeah, whatever. But I don't think so. And I do think there's a legitimate complaint when like towards the end, Riku's like, all right, I'm going to go. And she's like, oh, I'm coming with. And he's like, Kyrie. And then she admittedly goes, I'm not ready. I get why people are upset about that. But I think like that was less a choice, less of a, this has to do with Kyrie choice and more of a, Riku, for whatever he's planning on telling Riku, has to be by himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can see that.
And so that's why I think like that didn't bother me very much.
Yeah. And I don't know, I'm not saying that like this is like super likely either, but it also leaves the door open where like, at least as far as we know, she says she wants to train under Master Aqua. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's not in the Dark Realm still, right? Where it's like, oh, she has to go find them in the Dark Realm or something. But leaves the door open where like, if something happens with like Maleficent or Pete or the Foretellers and Luju, then like Kyrie's the main person who's still there.
Right.
Besides like Roxas, Shion, Axel.
Kyrie's Gohan in the Garlic Jr. saga.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And Aqua's Piccolo.
Probably. Rip Aqua. Yeah. So
I guess let's talk about the Quadratum stuff. Because I don't, if you don't know this, Quadratum is Latin for square.
So the city is called Square, and it looks very much like real life, like Shibuya.
Yeah, and Shinjuku.
And like first, another cool note that Damo told us is, in the end cutscene when the Masters is standing on top of that building, he does a square first with his hands. Kind
of like a director does.
Yeah.
And then he turns it into a heart.
Yeah.
And so the Nomura is the master of masters theory is gaining traction. It's very interesting. I don't know if that means like this is like a Square Enix world, right?
Mm.
Like that makes the most sense to me out of anything, because it's like, you know, they have like Disney worlds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That are separate worlds, and they were all one at one point.
Yeah.
So for Squaresoft, instead of being like, or Square Enix, instead of being like, oh, here's the Parasite Eve world and the Bouncer world and the World Ends With You world, it's one world.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's called Square.
Yeah.
No Enix, because that would mean Dragon Warrior's involved and Dragon Quest is involved, and we're not doing that. But so that's interesting to me. I don't know what that. And does that mean Yozora is Noctis? Does that mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot to it that's like, or is it going to be like, what would be interesting is if it were characters that were, like Yozora is clearly based off Noctis and Versus 13, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like, say they put the Bouncer in there or something, right? One of Nomura's properties. And it's not the exact characters from the Bouncer, but it is characters who are influenced by, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, here's Squall, it's Leon. You get what I mean?
Right.
Like it's the other side of that character.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people, this is completely like jumping around, but I've seen a lot of people talk about the original Secret movie from KH1 and how a lot of what we're talking about here fits into the quotes that show up on screen.
Mm.
Like the another side, another story.
Right.
Shit. There's other quotes. I can't think of it right now. Look into that though. But like, it's pretty interesting how Nomura, and a lot of people are like, oh my God, he planned this whole time. And I don't think I think he recycles a lot of his concepts that he doesn't use.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that stuff he didn't end up using. Mel had a tweet about the second secret movie in Kingdom Hearts 2 where they called, there was something called The Chasers. And I completely forgotten about this. But it was like the Chasers. And I think it said it one or two times. And we were all like, oh, those three characters who end up being Aqua, Ventus, and Terra, they're the Chasers. And they chase down bad... and then it never came up ever again. So there's a lot of stuff in those secret movies that I think he threw out because he threw in originally and then was like, I don't like this, I'm changing it.
Right.
And then he comes back to them a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of... You're going to see a lot of that stuff coming up here where he's like, okay.
It's a creative process. It's not like he ever goes, this is what it is. And then that's exactly how it is.
So that's exciting to me. I really like those styles. The style of those secret movies is really cool. And I like the idea of them. The fictional thing is throwing a lot of people off. They call it a fictional world.
I feel like it's just like a weird translation thing.
I could be a translation thing. I think that's not what they're officially going to be called because that's just Ansem the Wise coming up with that shit in my head. Like, it's a good theory on his part, but like, I don't think feel fictional is the right term because I think those people are going to consider Sora's world fictional. You know what I mean? So it's like not right. Yeah. You know?
I think in Ansem the Wise saying, like, and he kind of like puts his head down and his hands down, and where he's like, but that's all we know now. It's like being like, yo, this is just what we're calling it for now.
Right, exactly. But I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be cool. Sounds like we're going to wait about 2 years to hear anything about it, unless...
Maybe we'll get some teasers in like a year and a half.
Maybe there's some Union Cross info that comes, but I think that stuff's wrapping up in a different way that doesn't really involve this a ton, and we're going to see more of that with the Foretellers. Yensid's kind of hinting that the Foretellers went to this other world.
Well, I don't know if it necessarily means Foretellers.
Well, he says the ancient Keyblade Masters, and that wouldn't be people from Dark Road time because Xehanort had to learn about it, right?
Yeah.
My guess is it's going to be them, because the Dandelions, they went to a data world. They didn't go to a separate world, or they crossed world lines to the data world, right?
That I think that's what like the idea is. But
the Ansem says that data is a part of this side, not the other side.
Right. So my
thought was that it was the Foreteller.
This is something that me and Water talked about a little bit when we were playing some Call of Duty. So like, you know the line in Remind where Terranite goes, oh, so you too have chose to go the forbidden path.
Yep.
Are you ready to pay the price?
Yep.
Right? So I think in doing that, so there was a couple like ideas that we were kind of just like bouncing off of each other, and like none of this is like yo, this is what it is, guys. Like, take this with a very big grain of salt.
Right.
This is just some ideas that we were kind of bouncing off each other. But, like, because time travel isn't the reason that Sora disappeared.
No, it's the
reason,
power of waking incorrectly.
Yeah, the reverse of using it, right?
Yep.
So, in saying, like, oh, so you too have done it, is, like, so that's essentially what I think that transporter or whatever is doing, right?
Oh,
like
the
arc.
The arc?
Yeah, because they're using a heart to transport to worlds. It's like it's using the power of waking, essentially, right?
Yep.
So, like, she does it, and then he's like, yo, so you too. So an idea we had is that the price isn't, or like the forbidden path could be like using it the reverse way, but it could also be just like altering destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like in altering her destiny, Terranor is like, yo, that's the forbidden path.
So he's like, you too, because I've done it too.
Yeah. And also another idea is that, like, that's why Ava's gone too, that she's in like the fictional world too. Because I think that, so like, we've never seen the type of like portals or whatever that the foretellers have come in doing, right? Like that hasn't been in any other place, like in that type of way.
Right.
So I don't know. It could be potentially that he brought them from that other world, but if like the fictional world or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case, then like, why would Ava not be able to come, right? And then if it's time travel, if they're time traveling forward, right? Like, because we never see them die,
right?
In Union Key, so like, it could be that they just are teleported, but it also seems like they were like hanging out, right? Because like before, like in Union Key, they're trying to kill each other, right?
There's no aggression towards them.
Yeah, they all seem like
who's the bad boy,
right?
So to me,
but it also seems like,
but with the Ava thing, you're assuming that she wanted to be there.
Right. Well, he's like, well, Ava couldn't make it, I guess, right? So it kind of seems like, because he's like, why have you pulled us here?
Why have you summoned us?
Yeah, like, why have you brought us here, right?
That doesn't necessarily mean they were there against their own will. You know what I mean? That could just mean, hey, a beacon went up and we know we have to come here now. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it depends how you read it, and we don't know what...
Well, I don't think it is that, because then it's like, yo, like... Freaking Ragu's like, is that why you decided to exclude her? Like, it seems like Luju was the way for them to get there.
Right, but I've always read it as Luju said, hey, it's time to come here now. And then they all showed up, because what the fuck else were they doing? Yeah. And then he's like, is that why you decided to exclude Ava? And he says, well, no, I told Ava, clear as day. You know what I mean? Like, so to me, I always read that as Ava didn't want to be there. Not that she couldn't, but you could be right.
Yeah. In that, like, in giving, so like Strelitzia is supposed to be a foreteller. We see Ava kill Strelitzia. The idea could be that she freaking, you know, she's like, yo.
Well, she's not supposed to be a foreteller.
Or no, she's not supposed to be a foreteller. She's supposed to be a dandelion leader, right? And like, she's supposed to have the book or whatever, right? Well, it looks like Ava kills Strelitzia and then gives the book to Brain, being like, yo, that we're not following this plan, like.
So you're saying because she's changing destiny, she's doing the forbidden path, and that's why she's in the other. But then
because there's time travel with overwriting the timeline, and then there's time travel with your like affecting the timeline.
Right.
So like in that case, it would be like she went back to overwrite the timeline, where like, because like when Ava is in like, it's almost like there's two versions of Ava, where you see Ava where she's very like bright, like she's like a foreteller, like you guys are gonna be the future, and then there's Ava where she's like, you can't be here, type shit, right? And then there's like the darkness. So like, there's still, who knows, Ava might not even be the darkness or whatever, right? But
that makes sense. So here's my next question for you.
Some five brain theories.
And Damo said this shit, and it blew my mind. Winnie the Pooh's a fictional world, right? Because we talked about this, how there's this weird foreshadowing in Kingdom Hearts 3 when you complete Winnie the Pooh's world. Sora has this like really weird, like remorseful conversation with Merlin about how he can't, his heart isn't communicating with that area anymore. Like he can't feel poo like he could before his friends. And Merlin has always said, hey, this is a very special book. This is a special world. This isn't like a normal world you go to. Yeah. So to me, they're like setting up that, hey, this is like a fictional world, like this other fictional world. And that's why Sora loses connection with Pooh over time. Yeah. Maybe not the same as that other fictional world, but to me, like that's how, otherwise, how do you explain Winnie the Pooh? You know what I mean? Like it's just a book they go into.
Well, it's a book they go into, and we never seen anybody else like go in there multiple times, right? So it's like we don't know. Is it like everyone experiences it somewhat the same?
Yeah, right.
Because everyone reads the book, and like it's the same story, but you might get different things out of it, right? Yeah. So it could be similar to that, or like another way that like is you could think about it's weird with like the whole like Dark Road stuff is like. Is this a world that was a world? And then, like, in its infancy, they were like, yo, I'm going to make this into a book.
Right. Right. Someone just said, I'm making this into a book.
Right.
Yeah. So that's strange, too. There's a lot. They didn't really answer a lot of questions with this game. I didn't think they were going to. But we do know why Kairi was sent. I mean, we kind of already knew that she was sent to Destiny Island. We didn't know he didn't send her to Destiny Island. He sent her somewhere where a Keyblade wielder is, and she ended up at Destiny Island because Terra gave the Keyblade to Riku at a young age. Yeah, right. It's very interesting. And then the idea that the necklace Aqua gave Kairi maybe saved her from not going to that place of the spell she put on Kairi. Saved her from not going to that place of not darkness and not light.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like guided her.
It like guided her. So that's interesting too. I still really hope we get that BBS game in the Realm of Darkness. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that it happens alongside this game. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then maybe they're back by the time Kairi's out of her sleep because she slept for a year. It said. Yeah. So that would be cool. I would still really enjoy that.
I think what would be really crazy is like, okay, so they know that like the ancient Keyblade wielders, the only Keyblade wielders that we've seen that are like Disney ass characters are Mickey and Yensid, right? Well, we haven't even seen Yensid like hold
We've never seen him do it, yeah.
But they say he's a Keyblade master, right? So every other Keyblade wielder, and like this is partially to do with like fucking just like the idea that it's two brands merging, right? Like it's a bit meta, right? Mm-hmm. But like the idea that like, yo, Scholar Khaim is like a Latin like
Stairway to the Sky, or
it's
Stairway
the
to
name
Heaven.
is Latin, right? Yeah. Same thing as like Quadratum, right? Mm-hmm. So like when you go and remind to Scholar Khaim, there's that puzzle that you do.
Mm-hmm. The break, like, daybreak.
Yeah.
Or the daybreak, break, Scholar Khaim.
Right. Yeah, yeah. So I think what would be crazy, well, and then when you're in Scholar Khaim and you're fighting Goat Xehanort underwater, it's like, yo.
It's underwater there,
It's underwater. There's Daybreak Town, like the tower or whatever, right? The idea would be crazy if it was like, yo, in Scalad Khaim. So Scalad Khaim is like a town from like the other side, that world is from the other side. And then in flipping it, like Daybreak Town was the Disney side. That like if you think of it like two sides of like a wormhole. Right. And then it breaks, and then that's what flips it. So Daybreak Town is on the other side now in Quadratum, like in that place, right?
Well, Daybreak Town
and that
back when Daybreak Town was a thing with Union with Key, right?
Yeah.
It was implied that was one big world that all the worlds were connected to, right?
Yeah.
That it was all one big thing. I always thought the break had something to do with all the worlds being split apart.
Yeah. Yeah, that could also be it. Well, what's also weird is like they say that Daybreak Town is like where all the worlds are from, but like, so I guess, well, because they say that like the worlds are forming and they're forming at different rates.
Yes.
But if in Daybreak Town, because Daybreak Town is before when it's the foretellers and shit, and the places that you go are, because it's so fucking weird. Like in Key, when you went to the different worlds, it was like dream versions of the worlds instead, like because the Book of Prophecies has to do with both of them,
right?
And that like both times you're going there, you're not actually going there. It's like, what's to say that like they actually were all connected? You know what I mean? Like it's weird because when you talk to Donald and Goofy, you're not actually talking to Donald and Goofy,
right?
Like it's like a dream version or a data version or whatever, right? I think in the original like timeline or whatever, it's a dream, and then when you're playing Union Cross, then it's data,
right? Because
they're in like the data world, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really fucking convoluted and shit, and it's hard to like keep a one-track mind about it without like actually sitting down and like writing the shit down and then
and having a timeline
to remember what your train of thought is. But I think it'd be really cool. That's like, yo, like when they transferred to another world, like way back when, if originally in the original timeline, the reason that they're able to go to these Disney worlds is because that's like this is some fucking very, very tinfoil hat shit, right? So there's the Keyblades, they got all this shit, right? Going to the worlds, those are fictional worlds or whatever, right? Because they're like dream versions. And then like I can't think of like how exactly to word it, but like there's like the whole darkness. First there was darkness, and then like there was light, right? And that like the worlds like split apart. Like I think the idea is that like the stories are the same, where like hearts of children are like the dandelions and like stuff like that made it so that the world stayed alive.
Kyrie's grandma.
Yeah. Is like the same as like what is going on in Union Cross.
Right.
Where they get like the whole like that it's going to happen is from the Book of Prophecy. And because of the Book of I think that Book of Prophecy is like essentially a way for the other side, because if the other side is fictional to Kingdom Hearts world, then the other side their way could be like the Book of Prophecy, a way that wouldn't be unlike going to like Winnie the Pooh or whatever. And I think it also kind of adds up a little bit with what like we talked about with Demo, where it's like, yo, like it got like really, really meta, where it's like, yo, the reason that your voice isn't there is because like they're controlling Kyrie as like a video game almost, like on the other side. Where, it's like
Sora's controlling
you
Kyrie.
Can control every aspect except for let them like you can't talk to Sora, you can't talk to Kyrie,
right?
Like, but you can do almost every other thing that there is. So it's weird. I feel like that the Book of Prophecy is like people who are really into like the mainline story of stuff sleep on Book of Prophecy. Like I feel like it still has a lot to do with shit.
Yeah. Well, the idea is that the no-name Keyblade's been passed through time, and the Eye sees everything, and so the Eye communicates back to the Master of Masters who wrote the Book of Prophecy, right?
Yeah.
That's the lore.
All right, now Luju has it again.
I've gone absolutely cross-eyed.
Yeah.
Though when you were talking just now, I was just like triggered. Yeah. I couldn't comprehend all of it.
And I didn't do a perfect job of
No. It's not even that.
All.
It's just like my mind is swimming, trying to like not only comprehend what you're saying, but also like try to be five-headed my way, where I'm like, okay, but what about this?
Yeah.
What about like trying to think of ways to connect all this besides the obvious, you know? Because that's what like Kingdom Hearts Theorizing is all about.
Yeah.
Connecting things besides the obvious. But we'll be talking about this more. I don't have an answer for what it all means yet. But I'm excited to talk more with you about it, Jason. Talk more with people in our community about it. Talk more about it with different Kingdom Hearts creators that we're going to have on the podcast coming up. And that's our spoiler talk for Melody of Memory. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the
tweet.
Thank
you for listening.
Thank you for listening. If Jason made you go cross-eyed, I want you to leave a comment.
Yeah.
Saying Jason made me go cross-eyed.
Yeah, thank you.
Because he made me go cross-eyed. Anyway, we will be back next week, ladies and gentlemen, for episode number 94, and we are moving ever closer to episode 100.
Yeah.
So I hope you will please look forward to that. And I'm gonna try. I don't have anybody booked yet. I'm gonna try to get a special guest on for next week. We'll see. No one's booked yet, so if it doesn't happen, don't come at me with a pitchfork.
Don't be mad.
But I'm gonna try to get someone booked for next week, so we can have a guest on and talk about more of this Melody Memory nonsense. Also, answer the question of the week. What'd you think of Melody Memory mini review?
Mini.
Jason, hit him with it.
May your heart be your guiding key.
Thank you.
Now, fuck off.